Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to episode 3. No, that ain't right. I'll start again. Hello, 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 and welcome to episode 508. Is that right? Of Prog Review, and it is the first day of 2017, which historically we've marked it. That's it. We're frozen in time now, and it's also the day that Mr. Brian Eno releases yet another one of his ambient albums, and this time it's called Reflection, hence the title of the video. But Darren, you're not holding a copy of that there Reflection. Have you bought the download? No, I actually got the album on order. I've also got this limited edition version, which I hope to do an unboxing of in the future, so keep your eye out for that. But what I've got, he said, is I've got this. I don't know if you can see that. This is the app. You can get this on iTunes, on the App Store. It also plays on Apple TV, which is good if you've got it linked up to your surround sound system, because I can have it in pseudo surround sound. I can literally bathe in Mr. Eno and Mr. Chilver's app, though I haven't quite figured out a way how to turn it off. You can't seem to turn it off unless you use another app. There's no off button. But Darren, you're listening to an app. That's not the album. No, but if you read what Mr. Eno says about this album, he compares it to sitting next to a river. A river is a river. However, it is ever forever changing, and that's the comparison he draws with this record. And so, with the album, with the actual physical or download, that 50, I think it's how long is it? 54-minute version of the album. It's the piece frozen in time, and it's not truly representative of what Eno is trying to create. And with this app, he's finally created his ultimate ambient album, an album that recreates itself. Again, you've got to remember, Mr. Eno is very into generative music that creates itself. I remember using an app many years ago called Koan, K-O-A-N, I think it was Koan. And I think Eno had something to do with that, and you could put things on a panel, instruments, and they float around and increase and diminish and be totally random. And if you fed it into the right synthesizer box, you could make some interesting noises out of it. You could also make some very awful noises out of it. It was very one of those things you'd be very careful with. But it was an example, very early example of software generative music, and it was something that Eno was very, very much into. And again, I'd experimented with it, and so this brings us to Reflection. We've had Bloom and the other iOS apps that him and Peter Chilvers has done, and this is an extension of that. So the big question is what is the purest form of the album? Is it the app? Is it the CD? Is it the LP? I mean, the LP again is a double LP, so it splits the music into 2 or into 4, because it's 4 sides. Then you've got the CD, and then you've got the app, which is continually generating new versions of itself. You hear familiar tones. Tonally, it's familiar to Lux. And there are bits in it that you just think, oh yeah, it's very familiar. There's a great deal of familiarity about it. It's one of the bright albums. It's not dark. Again, that's why it was reminiscent of Lux to me. So it kind of what's curious to me is this app makes the recorded version redundant. They are useless to you. If you're looking for the truest version of the album, it's got to be the app. And I can imagine a lot of people are not necessarily want to go. They're going to resist that because they might like their music frozen in time. When if you read the press release, it wasn't his intention to actually do that. It was to create something that was ever evolving and changing. Again, a bit like a river. A river is a river, but if you sat and watched it, the flow of it is different every time. And that's the same with this. Is it a great piece of ambient work? It's hard to judge because, again, it's ever changing, you know? That's the weird part about it. How do you judge a piece of music that never stays the same? I was a bit disappointed because it is very reminiscent to stuff like Lux, the last album. Again, he needs to get a new ambient phrase book, a bit like myself. Oh, Darren, look at him, Mr. Hoity-toity, comparing himself to Eno. But no, because I do guitar stuff and I put guitars into various pedals and gizmos, I get a certain tonal palette, and so I'm always looking to try and do something a bit different, to try and change that, to try and make my efforts tonally different so that they're not boring, so that if you're sitting listening to my stuff, you don't go, oh, he's using that patch again, or, you know, I try and bring something new to it. That can be really difficult, especially with ambient music. So I appreciate the issues that Eno's got, but it is more of the same, but it's also different. So also, Eno's created something that is impossible to review. How do you review something that's constantly changing? But Darren, you should have reviewed the album and the CD. But no, there's no point. They are redundant. Read his press release. His intention was to create something ever evolving, and this is it. He's trounced me. He's got one over on me. He's out-thought me. He's one step ahead on the chessboard. I cannot give an adequate review of this because it's ever changing. My review would ever change. One day I might be in love with it, and another day I might find it incredibly dull. Boy, weird, isn't it? And this kind of sets me off on my journey into 2017, reviewing something that is completely impossible to review. Well, thank you, Mr. Eno, thank you. Saying that, even though I haven't heard the album properly, and I haven't heard the CD properly, you're not going to be disappointed if you like his previous ambient albums. It's, you know, again, it's light, it's light, it's lifting. There are no monsters in it. It's not dark in any way. Like I said, owes itself a lot to Lux. I would have preferred him to head into the more detailed territory of something like the Shoot-Off Assembly, you know, because those ambient pieces will have a little bit more detail to them, whereas this one, again, we're dealing in cloudscapes and, you know, and very nebulous phrases and tones. You know, it's all, you know, drifty, you know, out of your reach. Whereas, like I said, some of his ambient stuff is a bit more grounded and has a bit more solidity to it. So, you know, that's what you can expect from the album. You know, he uses systems to create interesting things, and that's what turns me on to it. Is he does this a certain way, and then I look at my gear and think, right, well, how can I do this a certain way with the gear I've got? You know, I don't use software. I imagine, again, this was all generated in software. I still prefer the hardware approach to things, and that's where we kind of deviate. You know, once you get into the software side of creating generative music like this, it takes the random element out of it, and I always like the random element, and I don't know how much, again, without asking how the programmers did it and what algorithms are used, it'd be interesting to know just how random it is. You know, there'll be a degree of you know, there will be a difference between, but I don't know, it'll be percentage terms, whereas I prefer the reaction to the random when you play. You know, brings out the human element. It doesn't feel human. It feels, again, a bit like Lux, which I imagine was done a lot in software. It feels you lose some of that human element, and that's what I feel is a bit of a shame, because when now it's just software. You know, where's the human element, and that's what we want from our heroes, is that human touch. But him and Peter Chilvers have created something unique, and that's it. It's unique, but it's really easy to do. And like I said, somebody asked me on the live stream to do an ambient how-to thing, and I might try and do a couple of videos. It's going to be pretty hard to talk about, but I might try and broach this and give you some ideas of how you out there could do your own ambient noodlings and play Mr. Eno at his own game. Again, if you've bought any of Eno's albums, he tells you, he puts it all on the back cover usually, the systems that he uses, and it's all there for you to see. He does let you look behind the curtain, which I greatly admire. But yeah, in terms of a review, I can't actually give this a review because it would be ever changing. But that's not to say it isn't worth exploring, So give it a go. The only thing is the app is rather expensive. It's something like 30 quid. But I'm a fool. I do this for the lulz and the clickbait. So yeah. And what you get in the app, I might as well do the app review as well whilst we're here, is this. So I'm going to have to mute it so we don't get the copyright police. Let me just start it up again. I don't know if you can see that. There's a little picture of Mr. Eno's face there, and this is the app. It's called Reflection, and then it should do its business. You see? I don't know if you can see that. You have I think again, randomly generated piece of. No, I wouldn't call it artwork. I'd call that more of a checkerboard thing, and then the music plays in the background. And if you touch it, it gives you a little credit screen of who's done it and who's behind the whole thing, and a pause button. You don't get a pause button, I don't think, on the Apple TV version, unless I should have pressed the pause button on the handset, shouldn't I? But yeah, and that's it. That is the app. And again, the music from this is what you hear. It's been generated from this is what you hear on the CD. But again, frozen, very much frozen in time. So yeah, what version should you buy? Now that's the question. Do you want the frozen in time version, or do you want the version that generates itself and will give you a unique Eno ambient listening experience every time? And again, read his little press release. That's what Eno wants. He wants you to have a unique experience every time. So yeah, what a great start to the year. Something which is impossible to review. I think it's clever. I don't think it's particularly new, because again, we was playing around with this stuff back in the 90s. But it's Eno. We'll give him a pass. We'll forgive him. You too can achieve the same thing by having, 3 tape recorders playing out of sync. 3 different pieces. You can just do that. Playing things out of sync. That's generative music again. I'm whittering on there. But anyway, so there you go. But do keep your eye out for future videos, because I will be doing an unboxing of the vinyl, because I've got that on order. But there's also this limited edition, which if you go to roughtrade.com and do search for Reflection, I'll put a link in the thing, though this will be redundant once it's sold out. But you can tell Uncle Darren sent you. There are only 500 of these in the world. Some of them have been sold today, this very day, because there were listening parties in the UK and in New York. But yeah, you might be able to score yourself a limited edition version. And this version of the CD, each one is completely unique. Again, because of it's been generated from the app. Anyway, thank you for listening to me witter on. This is the first video of 2017. I hope it carries on like this. I hope it can be as exciting, And I'll give this as many reflections as it needs in terms of a review. Because how can I give it a rating when it gets 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 reflections? on any different day. But yeah, this is the first one of 2017. Though it'll be uploaded in the early hours of the 2nd of January, because that's the way these things happen, because it's hard to make videos during the daytime when the kids are home off school. But yeah, thanks for watching, and let's tackle 2017 with vim and vigour. Oh yes. And on that, there's only one more thing to say, and that is prog on.